Hey, future coders! Today we are continuing our journey building real Python programs using just your phone with Pydroid. You are learning all about strings today. Trust me, strings are everywhere in coding.
What are strings? A string in Python is simply a piece of text, like your name, a sentence, or even an emoji. Anything you write inside single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes becomes a string. Let's see some example. Okay, John is a string. Hello world is also a string. Triple quotes are used when your text spans multiple lines. Okay, now what type is a string? You can check the type of an object in Python using the type function. Let's check what type our name is. Okay, so type is a function that tells you what kind of data you're working with. When you run this, it shows class str in quotation, meaning it's a string. Let's run this. You can see it's a class str in quotation. Str stands for strings. So it tells you that the class, it belongs to the class string. Let's go back to our code. So what can you do with strings? When you have strings, what can you do with them? Now, let's have fun and do some hands-on stuff. So, let's continue writing. Say first, equal to hello. Let me just wipe. I would have said let me comment this code, but let me just wipe them so that we can have more line to type up without filling the screen. Second, equal to okay. Then print first, then plus. Then we want to have a space, okay, in between. Then plus. Second. Okay. So the plus operator joins two strings together. Adding the single quote with a space adds a space between them. Okay, so if you run this, you see the output hello world, right? Because we assign hello to the first and word to the second variable. The first is a variable, the name we give to it as a variable, and the second is also the name we give to it as a variable. And we assigned hello to the first variable and word to the second variable. Now we want to print these two variables together. We use the plus operator to join them, okay, before printing them out. Okay, so again, if you want to find the length of a string, okay, we can use the len function to do this. So let me quickly delete this, then use this same function. Then here I will say len. Inside the print function, I will say len. Then the first variable is what we want to see, the length, right? So if I print this, it will show the length of the first variable. Remember I said len is a function that counts how many characters are inside the string. Hello has 5 letters. So if I run this, it will print 5. Let's see it. You can see 5. It tells us that the word hello, it has 5 letters, right? Let's move on. Then, what if we want to access individual characters? Okay, we want to access individual characters in a string. Now, we have our first variable and our second variable. And we have just checked the length of the first variable, which the first variable first, which hello was assigned to it. Now, you want to access individual characters of that first variable. Okay, so I will also delete the len function. Then I'll say print the first variable. Then we want to access the individual characters. This is how it's been done. Now, let me explain this. Strings are like lists of characters. You can pick letters using their position, starting from 0. Okay, so the first with square bracket 0 inside will pick the first letter or the first character of the hello, which is hash. Okay, so if I learn this, we will see hash. So understand this, that when you want to pick letters using their position in a string, it starts from 0. So you count 0, then before you count 1, count 2. So hash in hello in a string is the first character, which is 0. Okay, which is 0. Why? Maybe the character E is the 1 and so forth. Okay, so let's move on. So what if you want to slice a string? Slicing a string. You want to slice them? Let's see how that is being done. So I will say, okay, remember we just use 0 to find the first character, right? Now we want to slice this string. This is our first variable. So let me do this. I'll say 1 to 4. Then if I print this, you'll be able to see what we are able to slice. Remember what I told you in a string, how you can check the characters in a string. Okay, so slicing grabs part of the string. Okay, here it picks letters from position 1 to 3, not including 4. Okay, so we wanted to slice from position 1 to 3. It will not include the letter in the 4th position. So if I learn this code, you'll be able to see the characters in the string hello that we are able to slice. So you see L. That's, remember, E is the first character. H is the 0, which is E is the second character, which has index 1. H is the first character, but it has index 0. Okay, so in numbering string, remember I say it starts with 0. So H has the index 0, then this E has index 1, then L index 2, the other L is index 3. So remember I told you that here, the slicing will pick letters from position 1 to 3. That is how we are able to get this output. Okay, now what if we want to repeat string? Okay, we have hello as the string and we want to repeat hello, 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 right? Maybe multiple times, maybe 3 times, maybe 5 times. Okay, we can as well do this. So to do this, I will say print the variable, the name of the variable, which is first. Then you now see times using the asterisk to see times. Then let's say we want to print it times 3. Okay, so the asterisk the asterisk repeat the string, okay? It repeat the strings to any number that we assign to it. In this case, 3. So if I run this, you will see hello, 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 okay? Because it repeated the string multiple times, depending on the number that I asked it to repeat it, okay? Using the asterisk to get the result we want. So remember, if you want to split a string into words, okay, you want to split to maybe split a string into words. Let's see how we can be able to do that. Remember, we were able to split our string, you know, their characters actually, but now we want to split a string into words. So let's write a different code for this. So I would say text equal to, remember the equal to is used to assign value to a variable, okay? So I will say, let me say Python is fun, okay? So this is a string. Python is fun is a string assigned to the variable text. So if I want to split this string into words, okay, I can use the text.split function to do this. So I'll say print text.split. Okay, this is a function, right? So I'll do this, and if I print it, if I run it, I mean to say the split function breaks a string into pieces based on spaces. So it's going to break this string that we have, Python is a fun, into pieces based on the spaces that it has, okay? In this case, the output will be Python, is, fun, like, because there are spaces between them. So it will break them for us while assigning each word and or each text, okay? Or let me say each word, while assigning each word as a single string, okay? So we will now have a list or a set, I mean to say. We will now have something we call set, okay? By splitting one single string that we have. So let me print it for us to see. So you can now see we have Python is fun as a separate string inside a square bracket. Okay, so now we want to count occurrences, like how many times maybe a single letter appears in a string. Okay, so let's see how that is being done. So instead of the text.split that we used to split the string into words, then I will now say print the text. You know, remember the text is the name of the variable. Okay, so we say text.count. Okay, so we want to count, for instance, n, number of times n appears or occurred in the text variable or in the string Python is fun. So we want to count the number of occurrences n appears, okay, in this string. So if I run this, you will see the number of times. The count function count, then n in quotation inside parentheses, I mean bracket, tells how many times the letter n appears in the text. So if I run this, you will be able to see. I think, oh, I have made error. Let me see. I didn't close the last bracket. Okay, that's why we have that error. So you can see n appears 2 times in the Python is fun. Okay, even if you count that manually, you'll be able to see this is the first n, right? And this is the second n, right? So you can see that it's n, the character n appears just twice inside the string we have. Now, what if you want to replace a part of a string? Okay, you want to replace, maybe we say Python is fun, and we want to replace fun to another word. Let's say awesome. So we want to say Python is awesome instead of Python is fun. We can use the replace function to achieve this. So to do this, I will say, okay. So I'll say print the text variable that we assign Python is fun to it. Now I'll use the replace. Remember, I say you use the replace function to achieve this. So I'll say text.replace, right? Then inside the replace function, I will say the first thing we want to replace, or the first word we want to replace inside that string is fun. Okay, then comma. Before I will now say the second, what the particular word that we want to use to replace it. Okay, so I will now close the bracket for the print function, and if I run this, you will see instead of Python is fun, it will say Python is awesome. That is how you can replace part of a string using another word. Maybe you feel like Python is awesome, it's more sounds better to you, or it's more compelling to your audience, and others. So you can actually use the replace function to change this. So the replace function swaps one word for another. Okay, so Python is fun now becomes Python is awesome. Let's move forward. Okay, now we want to find substrings. You can actually use the find to find a substring. Okay, so now inside the text variable that we have Python is fun. Okay, you can use the find to find the find function to find the position, okay, of a particular word. Okay, the find function tells you where a particular word starts, in a string. Okay, so inside the Python is fun. Let's find the position of the word x in our string. So I'll say, okay, so I'll say print, instead of replace, I will use the find function, right? I say the find function. Then inside the find function, which word do we want to find? So remember, I said the x inside this Python is fun. Okay, so since I use the find function, it will tell us where the word is starts. Here, if I run this, you see that it starts. Okay, I think I forgot to do something here as well. What did I mix? Oh, find, not find. So you have to be careful with what you type, because the syntax are very sensitive. If you make any mistake, it will throw an error. So say find, you'll be able to see that the is in the position 7. Okay, the position of the is inside the string Python is fun is 7. If you count the word Python, you see that it is 6. Okay, Python. Okay, it's actually 6, right? So the next position of is 7. Is in the position 7. So we use that to find is in the index 7, I mean to say. So that's how you can be able to find the position of a word inside a string. Okay, now what if you want to convert numbers to string? Okay, we want to convert numbers to string. So in this case, we will create a number variable. So I will say num equal to, okay, let's say 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is a number, right? Now we want to convert this number to a string. Okay, so to do this, I'll use the print function. Remember what I told you, use print function to display what the result we expected in Python, right? So I want to convert this number to a string. Okay, then we will use the str. Remember that I told you str represents string. So we'll use the str function to convert number to a string. Okay, so I will say print str. Okay, this is a function that we use to convert number to a string, or maybe any other type of any other data type we have in Python, we want to convert it to a string. So in this case, I want to convert the number 123 that is assigned to the norm variable to a string. So if I run this, the 123 will be converted to a string. Okay, so the str function changes numbers into text form, so you can combine them with other strings. So if I run this, you see the 123 will be inside a quotation. Okay, see, so it has converted it. Let me see. Yeah, it has converted it, though it didn't show. It's supposed to show that it is in a quotation, that it is now a string. So how we'll be able to see if maybe this is a string is when maybe we'll try to add it up to another string. You will now be able to see, we can be able to say maybe you can be able to say using the character maybe that the number that we have, which is a string, is 123. So we can be able to combine both strings. We can be able to write them as a string in one sentence. So I ran this and I expected maybe to have the 123 on it. But if we, let me say, if you decide to, let me say, let's see, try something here. str, okay, let me say, and see what we will get if I print this. Type. So you understand what I'm trying to explain. Type. Okay, so if I run this, let's see what Python will tell us. You see, it is a string because we have converted the 123 to a string. It is no longer a number. So that's why we see class str. Okay, so I just want to use this to show you what we just did, for you to understand that when we converted the norm that we have here to a string, that it is actually a string. Okay, that's why I did that. So str function. Okay, so this is a string. The number has been converted to a string. Now, what if you want to compare strings? Okay, you want to compare strings. We are going to be writing a new code for this. Okay, if we want to compare strings, for instance, maybe I'll say, let me just use print to get what we want. Okay, here we want to know if it is true or false, right? Python can be able to tell us, oh, this is true or false. So let's say print apple. We want to compare apple written in lowercase with apple written in capitalized format. So I'll say apple equal to, this time it is not assignment, okay, equal to as an assignment, but equal to as, you know, as an operator. Okay, so I'll say that I will use double equal to this case because it is not the one we use to assign a string or number to a variable. So I will say equal to, here we want to compare if apple is the same thing as, in this case, apple. Okay, now if you run this, Python will be able to tell us if it is true or false. Okay, but here comparison is case sensitive. In Python, the comparison is case sensitive. So here, small a and capital A are not the same. So if I run this, it will print false. They are not the same. So you will be wondering, is this not apple? And this one is apple. So how is it that apple equals to apple is not the same or is false? This is because of the case of the, different word. So in Python, the string comparison is case sensitive. The string comparison is case sensitive. Now, other useful string operations that we can do is, let's go back. So we can actually convert, some words, from lowercase to, uppercase and all that. So we can use something like the upper function, the lower functions, and the maybe title function. So let's say we have a word. Let me say name equal to inside coda. Okay, let me write everything in capital format inside coda. Right now, if you want to change the case of this inside coda, I can say print. Okay, then I'll say name dot, I want to change it to lowercase, right? Okay, maybe if you want to be able to get my TikTok handle, this is going to print how it looks like TikTok. So if I say dot lower, name dot lower, the lower is a function that I use to convert a text, okay, to another case. So if I say print name, okay, sorry, remember this is, I don't have to start with a capital letter here. So I'll say name equal to inside coda, and I say print name dot lower, and if I run this, it will print it into a lower case for me. And the same if I say to a title case, instead of lower, I will type maybe title here and see we want to convert it to a title case. And if I run this, see it has capital, it converted into a title case, making the first letter or character to be in capital from while others remain lower case. And if I give a space inside it, like here inside, maybe there are different characters, you will see that the C will also maybe probably start with also a capital letter. So let's see inside coda. So this is how the title case, or you can also call it capitalized in other maybe programming on in Excel and all of that. You can also call it capitalized or title case. Okay, so if you have the text in lower case, you can use the upper case to convert them. So let's say we have inside coda already in small, let's say inside coda. So we want to change it to uppercase. We can actually achieve that, okay, by using the upper function to achieve that. And if I run this, you see it has converted it into an upper case for it. And that's it for today's hands-on Python practice with strings. Okay, practice all this on Pydroid right now. No laptop needed. Follow Inside Coder on TikTok for more beginner-friendly coding tutorial using Python, AI, data, and tech tips, all from your mobile device. And don't forget to subscribe to 360 Codecamp on YouTube for your full tutorials on project.